All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Rehab to Riches. Oliver and I are here today, very excited because we've got Mike Gowans here, who I found, I think on YouTube or TikTok, founder of Make Once. His whole thing is like he wants to help you sell your advice online. And Mike, you can add to this, but sell your advice online, make it once, and then monetize it time after time after time for recurring monthly income. So I heard that and I was just like, oh yeah, we need to dive deep into this. Like I've been
Yeah.
sharing his stuff with Oliver. He'll tell you, but yeah.
Yeah. And I love, like, I go to his lives and he delivers so much
Yeah.
value on his live. And I've always had this fantasy of, like, what I love about Oprah is that she, like, just got to meet all these people that they say she made, but really she was just near these people when they were ascending. And so
Yeah.
she got to, like, Dr. Phil and Susie Orman and stuff like that. And when I see him talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it'd be so cool to just be around him. Like, before he gets, I mean, he's already very big, but it's, like, you go in his lives and there's just so much energy and everybody's like on board, and he has like these presentations, these long narratives, and
Oh
everybody's just
yeah.
on board with it, and I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. He's amazing. And it's my dream. Like, the Make Once thing is like my it's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I know, right? We've been so excited. Well, welcome, Mike. We're really glad to have you here.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah. So how did we do? Did that like encapsulate it, or what? Where are you at right now with your business? What's the vision? What are we doing?
No, that sounds good. For me, I just was always in the come up part of this. Once I decided like I was going to do business and not go do the job thing, I was always looking for somebody that could just break things down in the dumbest, simple way possible and just shoot me as straight as they can.
Yeah.
And that was really just the cornerstone that I worked from, I guess. And sometimes I feel like I'm a little too off the cuff and too raw, but at the same time, I don't try to muffle, like how I feel or like what's going on. And I feel like there's just behind the scenes of entrepreneurship, it's mainly, even if you're pretty on board and organized and you've got your timers and every slot's filled, it's pretty just messy and ugly. And there's a lot of like, in 10 minutes, I feel like I'm going to just create the best presentation. I'm going to help people just change their lives. And then the next minute, you don't even know how to change your own life. And you feel like a complete mess and you're just doubting every second that you have. And you're thinking, why would anybody, and how am I going to do this? And I'm not even worthy. And all those things that come up don't ever really get talked about. And so I just try to show people as real as I can what that is, and know that it's just a constant. You feel like you're just waking up every second sometimes and going, man. And then you can look back and you're like, ah. But I also learned if you look back and you're not disgusted, that's really what you should be scared of, because that means you haven't changed at all.
That's
and
good.
it means
So
that
you mean like if you look back at like your previous and you're not like, oh, that's a mess?
Yeah, I look back
Yeah.
at, like, I could look at every day's content. I look back, I'm like, that should be a lot better, or I could do that way better. And I used to get on myself about it and be like, cut yourself some slack, or, at least you're doing it. And that's true. But at the same time, I'm like, if I can look at that and say that it needs to be better, that's good, because
Yeah.
I want better and I want to be better. And I think a lot of people take what they just did and assume that that's how they are. And instead of
Yeah.
thinking like, whoa, this is pretty good, like I could make that better. And that's what you want. Just like little better, little better, little better. And it's like,
Yeah.
I think I've heard somebody say like, it's not a silver bullet. It's like a 1,000 golden BBs or something. So for me, I just really want to show people how to make money online. I feel like if you can learn how to, and I've changed my thinking even more. I've been going like, okay, let's make $1 million.
Yeah.
Let's make 10 grand. Let's make 100 grand. Let's do all that stuff. I'm at the place now. Let's make your first dollar, because if you can make that first dollar online, I feel like you can make another one.
It's a mental thing.
And if you can take it to that place, Because once you've made $1 on your own, you're in business. I mean, that's all it
Right.
takes, right?
Right.
And so from
Yeah.
there, I feel like, well, why don't we just try to make our first dollar and then
Yeah.
let's do that, because it gets so overwhelming. But this is not doom and gloom. This is exciting. Like the fact that you can just go get excited about a topic and be really good at it, in the sense that you just care a lot about it, and you care about people actually figuring it out, and you're there for them, like being a friend, being a supporter, being somebody that just cares about something. That to me is so amazing, that you can go and then create more than you could at your job, and you get to do it around your time and your space.
Right.
But I just want to take the complexity out of that stuff and help people believe in themselves more, because this being on camera thing it's tough for a lot of people, and especially women. You know, they feel like, because they're already in this place where they have to have a certain look to them, you know, or they're not up to spec. And I mean, guys are this way too, but it's not so much for guys as it is for women. And then on top of that, they have to get ready to do the thing. And it's like, I get that, but this is a very special place. And it's, in my opinion, just getting started, only for the fact that it's taken this long to finally have the tools where you can just turn it on and go, and it looks okay.
Right.
It sounds all right.
School is like really cool that they've brought it all together. So I wanted to ask you this. I've heard you hear about picking a niche all the time, or niche, and everybody's got an opinion on it. I was listening to Alex Hormozzi's $100 million offers, which I feel like you have a lot of that. But you have a kind of different take on the niche. Could you break down for us, how do you decide who you're going to serve and talk about? I think it's the most basic level.
You know, I've been doing this teaching online stuff for really consistently since like 2015, but from like 2007 on, sort of in a certain way, you know, within my companies or to others. But it's always been a problem. The niche was always like, what's my niche? And I've even been like, what in the heck? But there's two schools of thought on it. If you're really, really, really excited about something, you already know what it is, because you're really excited about that, and you just need to lean into it and understand what part of the thing that you're excited about you're gonna focus on. Like if it's gardening, maybe it's just gardening for vegetables, not flowers or something, right? So you just need to kind of hone in on that and go for it. And don't worry about being too, you know, some people, like the mistake I made, but just let me preface this a minute, because it's really important, or you can kind of, I'll just share with you where I made a big mistake. So the first like $1 million I made, I was in martial arts when I was a little kid, and I knew how to do the online business thing because I had an agency. And then I wanted to get out of the agency because it was this time for dollars trap. And so getting out of it, I couldn't, when I went out there talking about how to make money online, it was like, whoa, there's a lot of people here. And I was like, how can I just need to get out of this agency thing. So I don't want to make this too hard for myself. So I went real narrow. And I went out to my grandpa's, and underneath the TV was me doing the splits with karate like a million years ago. I was like, oh, wait, I've never even looked at that niche. I look, and all they're doing is, their strategy was what color of flyer paper you were going to put up, you know, to like get new students. I said, okay, well, let me show these guys how to use, you know, funnels and email lists to get new students.
Right.
So I created this brand, and it was martialartsgrowth.com. And that thing just, it was amazing. Like I went from nothing to like, all of a sudden I was very important to them, because it was for nobody else. And that was also a problem because now I couldn't segue out. And so I went with Make Once, because what does that mean? It can go for anything. So when choosing a niche,
encapsulates the whole thing.
Yeah, because, well, all I could do with martial arts growth was I could only help martial arts people.
Yeah.
And so it cut me off from everything. And then when COVID happened and they all shut down because they were in person, so did I. So I had to, you know, switch really quick. And that's, you know, and I always had the Make Once brand. I had that email or the domain a long time ago, because I always said it all the time. I'm like, if people could just figure out how to make money one time on the internet, they could do it from there on. They could figure it out. And she's like, you need to get that domain. So I did, and never used it. Anyway, back to the niche. When you go to pick a niche, even if it's gardening with vegetables,
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
Maybe you just choose something that's not going to silo you forever into that. So maybe you pick like something where it's not gardeningforvegetables.com, right? It's
Right.
more
Okay.
open to something else.
Okay.
You know, it allows
Okay.
you to stretch. Okay,
Okay.
that being said, my take on it, there's 3 questions that you need to ask yourself to really figure out what your niche is. Now, this is
Write this down.
also if you're somebody that wants to sell your advice online. I think this works
Mhm.
even if you're not going to. I've had a
Okay.
product business, like a physical product business, and I think it would have worked too. So the first question is, you know, what do you want to be known for? I think it's really,
Okay.
and I don't mean like I was known for this while I was alive, not like
Yeah.
that kind of way,
Okay.
but more like just what do you want to be known for? Like when people think of you, like what do they think of?
So what kind of person are you?
Yeah, like just what you know
Yeah. Yeah.
what? Oh yeah, Tiger Woods. What do you think of right away? Golf. Michael
Right.
Jordan,
Golf. Yeah.
basketball. You know, it's
Right.
just kind of what do you want to be known for? Me, I just wanted to
Okay.
help people make money. I feel like they would do less drugs, less alcohol, less bad things, less arguments, less fights,
Wow.
less terrorizing of their self and environment and others
Yeah.
if they just had money. And you
Right.
don't have to
Yeah.
be rich, just
Right.
more than you need.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And, you know, if you can get to one spot, you can get to the rest of the spots, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just wanted to help people make money. I felt like if I got that denominator out of the way using the internet, okay, money using the internet, because that location freedom, look at all of us.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
This is amazing. Yeah.
So what do you want to be known for? And then immediately after you kind of get that understood, and it'll kind of change a little bit, and that's all right. The next question is, why do you want to be known for that? It's just real simple. Why actually do you want to be known for that? Just answer that question as pure as you can. You know, my big reason why was I didn't like being broke. I didn't like, you know, being told I can't. I would fight with my loved, you know, like my girlfriend or my friends or something. It typically had some kind of rooting, or my mom had some rooting in a lack of money somewhere. Typically is what
Yeah.
this, you know,
Okay.
came from. And then like if I would want to go drink to numb out the pain, or, you know, things always kind of sucked because of it. So I was
Right.
like, that's why I want to help other people figure it out, because
Yeah.
once
Okay.
I figured it out.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then the
Yeah.
third question is what happened? Like, you want to be known for this. You shared
Yeah.
why.
Right.
What happened? Just tell us what happened. You know, what happened that made you want to do this? Like, something had to have happened. And that's your story. Now that's your niche. And you can just share that story. You can share what you want to be known for, why,
Yeah.
and then you can share what happened. And now we're connected with you, or we're not.
Right. Okay, let me
Okay.
ask you this. And then Oliver, I'll definitely let you talk in a minute. So we've got our niche figured out. You know what you want to be known for, why, and what happened. Now I'm seeing 2 schools of thought. There's some people I see who have the free and then the paid school community, which is what I know you do. And then I also I was watching another one of your videos where you were basically like, if this is your first time doing it, you can literally start a community for like $27 a month and just like go with it. So which one of those okay, if someone is working full time, they want to start making money online, you talked about like just making your first dollar, like what would be your game plan there in terms of monetizing that advice? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, no, listen, I think the best thing to do is set up a
That
free
friend is me.
school. And
Okay.
Do a one.
once you set up your free school, I would also set up a Stripe account. You can either set it up with an LLC, or you can just set it up with your own social security number and just get you a bank account and hook it to your
Okay.
Stripe. Okay. And
Okay.
now all of a sudden you can create payment links. So if you have a free school, you can get people into that free school by creating content on the internet.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay.
So short content, long content, create some content, and just
Content.
be religiously consistent every single day. And
Yeah.
what I
Okay.
would do is I like 3 posts per day, short form. And
Okay.
then just in the beginning, you can't do enough. So saying some number would never suffice, because you can't do enough when you're trying to build, you're trying to get out there. But there's also something that will happen if you try to do too much. It'll crunch you down, and you'll just and then you'll stop. So what I like to see is just, can you create one good long video per week, and just create 3 short videos per day, and just try to make them less than a minute, and just cover one topic, have 3 bullet points for that topic, and tell us why that matters. And then if you do that, the reason I say 3 posts is because people are in one of 3 spots at all times. They're either, I don't know anything about what you're talking about, and I just figured it out. And I call this, did you know? So your first post per day is a did you know post. Did you know that you can grow vegetables off of your windowsill? I do it all the time. I'm going to show you 3 things that I do to do that. Okay. So there's that post. The person now is like, oh, now they're a little more aware. The moment they become more aware, the second place they end up in, which is, okay, well, how do I do that? So your second post per day is just a how-to post. So how do you actually do that? Well, let me show you in 3 steps. You're not going to cover every single detail. You're just going to give them the enough so they go, this person knows what they're doing. The third post is like this versus that, or A versus B, because now they're like, okay, now I know how to do it, but who can really show me how to do this? Like, does that company or this person or that person or this person? So you can kind of share, like, the reason we do it this way is because most people do it this way, and we found out that this way is better. It's just a simple post like that. So you have 3 posts. You can link to your free school where they can get more. And my favorite product for somebody to start right out of the gate to start making money with is a pocket coaching offer, where all you're going to do is 1 video a day, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I don't really set a time on it. Like, you typically will run out of gas around 30 minutes anyway, but where it starts to just, you're trying to shove it in there. You really want to just 1 pocket coaching video a day. You can charge anywhere from, in my opinion, I would charge something from $19 to $49 a month for this. Everybody that would ever be alive is worth $49 a month. You're getting paid more than that at your job. Okay. Yeah. You can come up with $49 worth of value. A energy drink once a day is like $100 a month. Okay.
Right.
So
let's put that in perspective here.
Yeah. So everybody can do that. Okay. And you have this product now that you can use your free school, keep it free. You go inside of Stripe, you create a payment link. It's a subscription payment. So when you're inside of Stripe, you click on payment links, create new payment link. You choose recurring, and it's $29 a month recurring. And now you have a payment link that you can hand to, or give to somebody, and they can start paying you monthly. And then inside of your free school, because it's a free school, you're going to have one of the classrooms. It's just locked until you give somebody permission to get access to it. When they pay you, what I do is inside of Stripe, when you create that payment link, you can choose what the after page looks like. So on the after page, it can either go to the receipt page, it can go to a message, a custom message, or you can go to a URL. Now, what I do is
the URL.
That URL I send them to is actually just a Loom video, because with Loom, you can put a button in your video for Loom. So I just do a Loom video. Hey, thank you so much for joining my pocket coaching. I'm really excited. Every day I'm going to be sending you a new video about how to do gardening off of your windowsill. And I encourage you to, let me know inside of the community, what would you like me to cover in that next one? And what are you learning from it? And so just use the community. Here's the calendar inside of school. You can see we do a live video once a week, and you can jump on there on Zoom. As long as you're a pocket coaching member, you can do that. And then of course, here's where your pocket coaching is. And finally, to get access to your pocket coaching, shoot me a message inside of school letting me know that you paid. I'll double check it and I'll let you in. I got that right there by doing that exact process. And then I use the button inside of the Loom video. I linked that button to the school, so they would be right there, right? That right there is, I was able to get that to almost $5,000 a month with a $27 offer in about 90 days. And I just talked about it on my live. So that's the next thing. 3 posts per day. Try to do them before you go live, because If you
Right.
do the
Yeah.
post before you go live, your posts get more like lift.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I just then would go live each day. I take one topic out of what I'm talking about, what I want to be known for, and I just think of 3 bullet points and I get talking on my live, and then I ask a lot of questions because questions
Yeah.
are the answer. It's the
Right.
Right.
it's the best thing you can ever do. If you're asking questions, you're not arrogant. If you're asking questions, they're talking, so they feel important. If you're asking questions, you're getting answers.
Yeah.
So you just ask questions. You ask questions in your group. People want engagement in their school. I put lots of value in there. Nobody engages. Well, if I threw a
Yeah.
bunch of money out on the floor, they would just take it and run off. But if I said, hey,
Right.
what's something you're having, some struggles with? If you tell me, I'm going to throw some money out on the floor.
Right.
Ask that first and you'll get engagement.
Yeah.
But that's how I use the Stripe free and the payment link and Loom. And you can run,
Okay.
I mean, you can get really high up in the numbers with that, and it's recurring.
Okay,
That's a
so
nice
when you
little
have
system.
your
It's
free
very simple.
school that you're sending everyone to, and then inside the school you have a course that's locked until they pay the 27 or whatever it is. And then that's where you post all your looms, your daily pocket empowerment coaching is in that
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the pocket coaching, do you have like your diagrams and everything like similar to your lives, or are you just talking to your phone?
I usually you can use your phone. Loom has a great mobile app. I really like
Yeah.
Loom a lot because it takes all the crazy out of creating a good video. You can just create it, the link's ready to go, and it's
I
done.
like
And
that. Okay.
it's awesome because it's got AI like weaved into
Yeah.
it, so it automatically gives you a description, transcription, header.
Oh, love
I
it.
mean, it's like,
It's so easy.
thank you,
Yeah.
So
Man.
I just do that. I get up the night before I go to bed. I know what I'm doing the next day before I go to bed. I write down a topic, and typically the topic that I come up with, my favorite way to do it is I'll use the free app vidIQ, and I will
Okay.
just go to YouTube and pretend that I'm my customer, and I will search for something that I think my customer would be having a problem with, or it's typically a problem you used to have. And I'll
Right.
just search, and whatever video comes up, I click on it, I pause it, I go down to the comments, and I use the little vidIQ filter that just shows me all the comments that contain questions.
Yeah.
And so I go down, I'll
Ah.
find a question, and that's a great way to come up with a topic. You can say, yesterday I went searching and I found a question about how to grow, vegetables off of your windowsill that somebody had. And
Yeah.
I want to talk about that today in my live, or I want to talk
I
about
love
that today in my pocket coaching. I've got 3 points. I just use the rule of 3
Yeah.
because
Okay.
it's simple, right?
It's easy to
Yeah.
keep
Your
in your
brain really
mind.
can't control more than 3. It doesn't really hold more than 3 anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like,
And
Yeah.
if you put restrictions on, you become way more resourceful and more creative. And for me, I can get really distracted really easily. Some people call it ADHD. I don't know what the hell it is, but it happens. Okay. And so
Yes.
I just have to put the blinders on, and I can't go past certain things. I have to use restrictions, but it typically helps me come up with a lot better things. And most people want it easier versus hard. They want it less versus more. They want it,
Yeah.
these are simple things, and you just have to believe in them, because it's like, that's the truth. Like, would you rather it be a long course or a short course to get the answer? Would you?
Yeah.
As short as possible to get your result.
Yeah. I mean, would you
Right.
rather
Yeah.
20 modules or 2?
Right.
And this is the truth. So you can
Yeah.
do that, but I don't know who said it, but they said, I would have wrote you a shorter letter, but I didn't have time.
Yes. Mark Twain,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So that's the
Yeah.
problem with coming up with short things. But then people also think
Right.
they have to get everything out in one spit. And it's like, you don't. You can just get a little bit out, and we can do more. But
Yeah.
the pocket coaching is really good, because here's why. When you go to create a course, first off, you think you have to have all this stuff done before you sell it. And you want to sell it before you build it. Get the outline and then
Right.
sell it, and then
Right.
build it with them on the first trip. But
Yeah.
when you go to do a course, the problem is you rely on this course to be the value in the product. But when you do a pocket coaching, it keeps you in the saddle, and it keeps you actually trying to coach them. A lot of people don't coach.
Yeah.
There's leaders and followers, and you have to pick one. You're always both at all times in weird ways, but
Right.
in most cases, if you're going to be helping somebody and showing them how to get from point A to point B with vegetable growing in the windowsill or whatever, you have to be a leader, and they're coming to you for you to coach them. Whether you're a course creator or you do masterminds or you create pocket coaching or you have to coach people.
Right.
Okay. So you're
And the
saying that
pocket
like the
coaching helps you
content
do
has to
that.
be adaptive. So you're saying as you go, so if you're creating a course with them, that you're going to sort of not only coach them, but that you'll include like it's adaptive. So you're going to react to what's happening, and just that'll help you build the course out.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that first course, you want to have like, okay, this is what I know that these are the essential things that I know they're going to need to get to point B.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you get into it, you're not going to really know where everybody's at or like what the theme of the group is.
Exactly.
And so you have to build that with them. And as you do that, the first time you build it, you're going to build something that is very applicable and very result driven. And it's going to really help them and you. Then you can go back, and as people come through the one that you created with people, it's going to have these Q&As in it, which is great. It's going to hear other people go, oh, that's me too. So it has a lot of that. But then as they go through it, they're going to be like, well, what about now you know how to go in and fill the cracks in with where you kind of missed. And with all courses that I create, I always do live weekly calls with it, because while you're building this course and refining it and making it better, you can actually talk to them. Number one, people love support. Okay. And it helps you more than you're getting just as much from it as they are.
Yeah.
But you're also learning how to refine the program. And most of the time you're trying to eliminate things and just have what is, all nectar, if you will. Right.
Right.
And when you do the pocket coaching, by time you get to the end of the month, you'd have 30 videos, let's say. You really know by looking back at your looms which ones resonated. You can really see which ones they consume, like at the 80-20 of the 80-20 of those 30 videos. And now you really understand maybe the spot you fit in best. You also probably really understand what they want more of and what they really care about. And then you also know that you've got a ton of free bonus stuff that you could use. And you also... You can create a very powerful program from that. So I really love having that as the first place, and you connect with people.
Right. That's the key.
Yeah.
So what I hear you saying is that you really don't need to overcomplicate your niche or go down the hole of, I have to have this course perfectly laid out and know all the answers. It's like, no, really, it's about showing up consistently every day and providing value in a way that's not super curated. It's just like you clearly explaining something, 1 point, 3 bullet points, and allowing your people to guide the path forward.
Wow. It's like the opposite of what I'm always doing. Like I'm always trying to just get this like curated, finished thing, and I'm like, oh, it's not done yet. Like it needs to be totally just signed up. And by not including my clients, the audience in that process, then what I create just doesn't have that. I haven't found that I've been able to make a connection, because I think you're right. I'm just not involving them in the process. And it's like, that's cool.
Another thing that's really neat about it is when you do the pocket coaching and you go about it with this understanding of people are not paying me for my time, for my perfection. They're not paying me for my vigor, my energy, my, maybe some people call it extrovertedness, I really believed all of that. And for a long time that I thought, oh, this is about me. And the thing that, this month, we're going to probably get close to, between Michelle and I, she runs a very similar business to me. She just does a little bit different model, but with low ticket items, like nothing's over $1,000. And, just with low ticket things like 29, 100, 200, I mean, I think we're on track like probably get close to 600,000 this month just with her and I. And, you know, and her business is just exploding right now. She just
That's
changed
crazy.
over to things. I tell you this because you don't have to be the expert either.
Right,
People are paying
right.
you to get to the result. You know, if
Okay.
you and I, if we all had this, you know, ultra super terrible thing, like we had 30 minutes to live, right? And
Right.
if I had a foot sewn to my face and I had mud all over my face and I was stinky and flies flying around me and I could barely talk, but I had the pill that would save us in 30 minutes, that's all you would care about. You wouldn't care about
Right.
anything else. Now,
Yeah.
if you can have a clean face and try to,
Yeah.
you know, look your best, that always helps. But my
Right.
point in saying is, even if you're really excited about something, you just don't have the answers because you're not there yet. You can go find the
Yeah.
people that do. There's a lot of people that are very intelligent that really can just blow your mind when you're talking to them at breakfast or over coffee or just whenever you bump into them. But they have zero thought, idea, or intention to use that information for anything other than what they use it for in conversation. If you
Yeah.
can get them to have a seat
Huh.
with you, talk with you, and you can organize that out and deliver it to people and it gets them that result, now
Yeah.
you're really becoming an entrepreneur, because that's what entrepreneurs do. They organize things that produce value. And so
Yeah.
you don't have to be the hero. You can be the organizer. You can be the curator. You can bring somebody the experts. But
Okay.
the best thing that you can do is get masterful in being a question person.
Yes.
Hmm.
I noticed,
Yeah.
I think your questions, if our listeners, they're digging all this, they want to start a school community or grow a community. How do you get your just daily school community to engage? Like, are you just asking questions all the time, or, you know, what is it you really want to know about your people? And do you have any ways that you consistently see engagement with that?
Yes. So there's two things I do all the time that are the main thing. And then there's a third thing that just kind of happens. One main thing is I'm always just going into videos that are already getting tons. You think about it. Some people are scared that these other people, you know, they go, oh my God, there's these humongous people in my niche that have millions of subscribers, millions of views. How will I ever compete? And like Peter Thiel says, you're only competing if you're competing. Like you're like just don't compete. Okay. So don't compete against them. I look at that as, wow, thank you so much for being so amazing, person. I really appreciate you and I'm grateful for you. So instead of like trying to compete and be grateful and appreciative that they created something that attracts a lot of your perfect audience. And now you can go there and you can praise what they're doing and being that person instead of the other person. And
you
you
can be
can
part of
then
the
say,
conversation.
wow, they created this perfect video that gets millions of views, and it's talking about the same topic that I have, and yet there's all these questions down in the comments.
Right.
Wow, cool. So I can take my favorite question out of the more than you can answer, and I can say, all right, well, I'm going to talk to my community about this. I found this question at so-and-so's video, such a great video. Oh my gosh. But yet there were still these questions left over. What's your guys' take on this? How many of you have struggled with this? Or how many of you are struggling with this? Okay, now all of a sudden you get engagement, because one person's going to go, I struggle with this. Da, 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 da. The other person, because they love significance, social media, thanks. You know, it's always been this way. It's just been accelerated with social media. But now they want to go in and give their 2 cents. And then somebody else then says, well, yeah, but I have my 2 cents. So, okay, cool. Well, now
all of a sudden you've got
endless amounts just with that one step.
Right.
The second thing that I do is when I go live, I get a lot of questions, and then you start seeing patterns where it's the same question, or you get these things that are happening and they keep happening and keep happening. And that's where, you know, there's a high point of interest or challenge or block or something. And you can create from that. So I always do this with somebody that can't get their community to engage. Number one, are you talking to them every day? If I talk to my girlfriend once a month, versus once a day, there's a big difference in our connection. And
That's
so
true.
you got to connect with people. Connection is currency, right? And so if you know that you need to build connection, well, why don't you get in every day and challenge them? Why don't you get in every day and ask them, what have you completed today? Be their accountability partner, be their friend. And you can do that once you hear something that's always being talked about, let's say when you're going live or in your questions or whatever, or when you're looking at questions are the answer. Okay. And so if you find that, you can then say, instead of just creating a video and throwing cash out on the floor that everybody will just grab and take off, no engagement. Instead say, I was looking at this thing. I heard this thing came up because you're listening for it now. And I was going to cover a video on it, and these 3 things I was going to cover, but is this what you guys even want to know, or is it 3 different things?
Yeah.
Because people promote what they create. So if you ask them what 3 things you want to cover, all of a sudden they became the creator of your videos, and now they'll want to produce, sharing, and being a part of, because internally they have this like connection with it as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
The third thing I do is I just do a weekly Zoom.
Yeah.
You can do free ones. Obviously, I have more intense ones with people that pay, the paid. But in the free ones, again, find a topic that is showing up a lot out there. Like, what if you just go searching for questions or problems? Like, that's how we make money, right? We solve problems. So if we know that, then the thing we always want to be doing is that, because then we'll always get the effect from that cause, which is money, right? I used to when I was playing football, my coach would always we'd be down at halftime and everybody be looking at the scoreboard, and they'd be just kind of like nail biting or like down or like anxious, and they're looking at the scoreboard, and he would grab my face mask, or he'd grab somebody's face mask. He was like an old Vietnam sergeant, crazy guy. He was cool though.
Full Metal Jacket.
He would say, you can't fix the scoreboard by staring at the scoreboard. You can only fix it by what you're doing on the field. So it's like, a lot of people try to focus on making money by focus on making money instead of focusing on the actions that actually make money. And if you just solve problems, the exhaust from that mixture of things, somebody with a problem, you with the solution, when that comes together, the exhaust, the fumes, the output from that is money. So
it's right there.
Just focus on finding questions, problems in your zone, and focus on them. And if you don't pick them in your zone, that's like Tiger Woods trying to do race cars the next day, hockey the next day, art the next day. He would never be Tiger Woods.
Right.
Yeah. Mastery.
So to me, you when you do these weekly calls, you're basically posing something and it's everybody else's idea.
Okay.
You got to paint the picture. So many people talk about something without painting the picture.
Context. Yeah.
You have to paint the picture. Don't assume they know. Just you have to help them. And my favorite words to start painting the picture are, imagine what it would be like if you just had 100 people that gave you $29 a month. What would that do? Like, what could you actually do? And imagine if that was only happening because you were helping them with a video each day on how to grow cucumbers from their windowsill in their apartment or whatever. Like, can you imagine that? Words like that, whether they answer you or not, they work in the brain. We all visualized already plants on a windowsill during this and everything. And so using words like imagine, or let me show you what this would look like, demonstrate, show somebody. And if you paint that picture and you realize people have to go from did you know to how to this versus that, you can start to create in that way, and you can bring people through the system. They'll come through those levels of awakening or understanding or whatever, and then have something for them that will serve the thing that they're doing, which is how do I get from here to here? Just that's all people want. This is all we're doing here. You're trying. You have this desired situation. You have this desired outcome that you're trying to get, and by us doing this, it's a hopefully some sort of thing that gets you to point B faster, and it helps other people, and it's great. But that's what everybody's trying to do. And if you just keep it simple, you don't have to bring anything extra to it.
That's what I'm hearing you say.
I love that.
So now you've worked with quite a few, people who want to sell their advice online and helping them make money. Do you notice any common denominators with the people who end up succeeding versus the people who just never actually get going?
I would say, and even recent, I've had somebody that's like this. The people that do the best, they're coachable. They
Yeah,
when they get some advice from somebody that is a few steps ahead of them, they just do it. And they don't
right.
overthink it. They don't try to do it their way. They just do what the person suggested, and so they're coachable. The other thing that helps people get there, the thing that I notice about them is they're not trying to be like anybody else. They're just trying to share from their heart, not their head. They're trying to just help,
Yeah.
and they really get
Mhm.
very excited about what they're doing.
Mhm.
They just get into what you're doing. What else are you doing? Are you
Yeah.
just gonna wait till that magic moment happens where you don't know anymore? Like
Yeah.
to me, just get excited about something. Isn't it neat to be around people that are excited about something?
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
Yeah.
magical.
invigorating versus somebody
Yeah.
that's like,
Yeah.
they get excited about something. They try to keep it as less steps as possible. And what they do more than anybody else, the ones that I see that really make it, is they take the most powerful activities, like the income earning activities, like,
Mhm.
create a video every day. If you can't, you got to be able to do one a day before you can do two a day. I always say
Right.
one before
Right.
two. Like, why are
Right.
you trying to post
Yeah.
all over the place when you can't even post at one place once?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Yeah.
just be consistent. Water will drip through rock. And I mean,
Yeah.
you do not like imperfect action,
Yeah.
but the people that make the money,
Yeah.
they make offers every day. If you don't make offers, you don't make money. No offers, no money. How many times have you asked somebody to join your pocket coaching today? Whether in a
Mm.
video
Yeah.
or a live, did you put something out that's at least one person seen that has you saying inside of it somewhere or some way, shape, or form, whether it's a banner, a
Yeah.
thing, or something, where you ask
Right.
them to buy your solution? You're not asking
Yeah.
them to get their money. You are asking them because you want to help them and you made
You're
something that can
providing
help them.
value. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It really is. I'm in sales. That's like my day job. And so just doing that has taught me so much. Like I used to think you had to be in the perfect mindset and high vibe before you could go in and talk to anybody. And so I'd sit in my car and like meditate before I would go in anywhere. And then I realized like none of that shit matters. Like how many people are you talking to? You're not forcing anyone to do anything. You're just getting in front of them. And even when I'm in like a sour mood and I'm not my usual bubbly outgoing self, I still make sales. You can still make money you don't need the perfect headspace or the expertise to make money. And it just blew my mind. I was like, oh shit. So I can be like, not bitchy, but just like kind of, it is what it is some days, And then people respond to that, I think, level of like alignment almost, just you being you. They know you're not trying to, be somebody else. I don't know. It's the darndest thing though.
The thing that I love that recently has kind of came to be because people have trouble asking somebody to buy their stuff or whatever. If you just like if you walk into a bar and you just walk up to some guy or gal, whatever, and you're like, "Hi, my name's Mike. Want to have a baby?" That person's
Right.
going to be like, "Ugh," and get out of here. But if I
Yeah.
walk
Weirdo.
up and I'm like, "Hey, can I buy you something that's valuable, like a drink?" And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
can I be really like, I'm going to be really interested in them, not talk about me, because
Right. Right.
that's the thing. So you ask a
It's
lot of
true.
questions. So whenever I'm like in a position, any position really, where I'm trying to get somebody that I know has the problem I can solve to
Yeah.
see the value in what I have, and then to get them to make the move from not doing anything about it to now doing something about it. What I do is I just ask them a lot of questions about their current situation because that's where they
Yeah.
are.
Mm.
And then I ask them
Yeah.
about their desired situation.
Right.
And then I ask them about what I think, what would it be worth if we got this thing fixed? Like, what would that do? And then I say, it's this simple. And no matter when you're doing it, all you have to say is, so would you like some more help with that?
Right.
That's the easiest
Yeah.
thing, the easiest offer. I've got this free community. I've got this free course. And if you want even more help, I've got this other one. and it's just this
Right.
much a month. It's the easiest thing in the world because it trains your brain to not think like you're getting money. It trains your brain to think like, I'm going to help them at a different level if they pay me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
You're just
So
giving
you're
them more
providing
help.
value no matter what. You're just giving them a bit more access. Yeah. Yeah.
And the more expensive your product, it's not that your product's getting better or bigger or whatever. It just means they get more of you in a more intimate way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Wow.
maybe your thing is, $100 a month, and they get to get 2 calls with you each week, and then they have a do-it-yourself, guided like little program or something that can get them there. And then the real value in that is probably the 2 weekly calls where they can talk with you over Zoom, whatever. But maybe you have this next thing that's like $300 a month, and then they get maybe 2-3 more calls with you. We're talking about an hour a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can make more than, you're considered ultra wealthy in the top 1% of wealth in the United States, a highly economic place, if you're making over, I think it's $63,000 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you had 1,000 people, not millions, not 10,000, not 20, not 100,000, if you had 1,000 people that gave you $65 a month,
Yeah.
$2 a day or something, you're ultra wealthy in the United States of America.
Wow.
In recurring income.
Yeah.
Right. That's the kicker.
1,000 true
Just
fans.
recurring. Yeah.
So why can you not do that? You're telling me that you can't find 1,000 people that get excited and want to know what you know? The problem is not that there's nothing, like saturation doesn't exist. We need 1,000 people. There's billions of people online. What we need is for you to show up every day and care about them and give them an easier path from A to B than they're going to figure out on their own. And $65 a month, 67, 49. And if everybody, like, do you have a friend right now that's excited about the stuff you're excited about?
Yeah.
At least one. So if you have 1,000 people like that, they all have a friend. Now you have 2,000.
Right.
Wow.
Netflix is $22.99 a month if you get the top package. $22.99, $22. And it's $1 billion company.
Yeah.
What if it took you all year? What if it took you 2 years to get 1,000 people that were giving you $59 a month? What if it took 2 years? What are you doing right now that in 2 years you're going to have a recurring income of 59 grand a month with zero cost of goods, basically? Because it's digital.
Right.
And all you have to do is show up each day. And really, honestly, if you focus and plan the night before, if you put in a solid 4 hours a day on this thing, you'll well exceed that 1,000 and you'll well exceed that 59K a month. But you know how it's just like really crazy to get solid 4 hours of focus on something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do.
So all you have to do is care about a single thing that other people care about, which I knew a guy, it was a guy and a guy, they did like horse ballet. They taught horse ballet through digital products, and they were doing almost 40 grand a month. So it doesn't matter how strange your thing is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you go to YouTube and type in whatever it is that you're excited about, if there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of views and all this stuff, there's at least 1,000 people.
Yeah.
But if I can't hear you, I can't hear you. If I can't see you, I can't see you. All you have to do is care each day. Show up with something valuable and let them know that if they want even more help, you've got this thing and that this is how it works.
So these 3 posts, how did you know how to A versus B, is that in your school group or your TikToks?
You can put those anywhere because that's where people always are.
Yeah.
You have to, just because they pay you now and they're your customer doesn't mean that you're stopping any of the things that you've done to get them in. You're just doing it even more, if anything.
Okay.
You're constantly having to, some people call it dangle the carrot. Some people call it the North Star. You constantly have to help them. That's what a leader does, is they help you see further than you can see yourself.
Yeah.
And so you you need to be a master and learn how to paint the picture. And all you
dream destination.
Yeah, because
where
listen,
they want
if I can't, like when it's foggy out, how do you drive? Real cautious and slow because you don't have any vision.
Can't see anything. Yeah.
But when it's sunny out and your top's down, hair's blowing, music's cranked. So if you can, people will go sacrifice their lives for a country because of the vision of what they're doing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like I would almost said 90, but it probably is 90% of the time when your mouth is open, you need to be asking questions and with the intention of the vision, painting the picture. And it can be with the garden in the windowsill. Imagine what it would be like to wake up and have breakfast and you can pull your own cilantro out of your window and like put it in your omelet. Can you imagine how sweet that is? Or like how fresh that oregano would be? And you're right there. Like, and it's so simple. We have a simple 5-step process that you can do, and you can have the freshest vegetables on floor 28 in Montreal. It's like, that's painting the picture. Or imagine how fun it would be. That's those words, imagine.
Yes.
Can you see it? Did you know? What if that's what you're doing all the time? Because if you can't get them to see the vision of it, they're not going to pay you.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Because they need to know where they're going.
Yeah. People love a journey.
Well, it's what we do.
Or the destination. Yeah.
It's not what they love. It's what we do. What else are we doing besides this journey?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by getting real simple. It's like, what's actually happening? People are like, I don't know what to say on a video. Well, what did you actually do today? Why don't you just share that? Oh, I don't know. Well, that's where we need to start then, because if you don't want to share what you did today, how does this sound? So people are like, well, I don't think why would people care about me? Blah, blah, blah. Let's say I don't know nothing about, vegetables. And I don't really know a lot about, I'm sure I could grow a cucumber or something, but let's just say, I was like, today in this video, I want to show you how I was able to grow this huge cucumber out of my windowsill. I've really honestly never done this before, but the last week and a half, I have read 6 books over how to grow cucumbers. Then I read 6 books on how to actually just have flowers coming out of your windowsill. And I listened to almost 2.5 hours of gardening advice. And I took this huge notebook of notes and I came down to these 3 core things that I pulled from it. And it helped me grow this big cucumber. And I want to share that with you.
Yeah.
Look how valuable that sounds. And all you did was share what you did.
Yeah.
Put in the work.
Yeah, basically share that you didn't know and you figured this one thing out. Yeah. And so you were able to be authentic, just share your journey.
Yeah, what happened?
You don't have to position yourself as the big, that guy that knows everything at the end.
That's how you position yourself, by actually what happened.
Yeah.
But you have to talk about it. We don't know what you did.
Yeah.
We didn't know that you listened to 5 YouTube videos before you did this. We didn't know that you tried something and it didn't work. It's okay. Whatever it is, just what did you actually do?
Do you think we're so obsessed with this? It's you got to be the expert. And so it's this veil of perfectionism. So then you don't have to do anything. So instead of actually just sharing authentically, oh, I did, had to read all these books to do this cucumber. Instead of that, you don't share anything. So you don't feel like it's not perfect yet. It's not, I don't know enough. And then we don't have to do anything. Do you think that's part of it?
So many people are preparing to do the video all day. And then they get to the end of the day and they go, God, man, why can I not I said yesterday, I was going to create these videos today. I was going to do that thing. Why do I keep not getting ready to do it? I have everything that I need. I have the phone, the light, the mic, the boards, the this. Why do I stop creating the thing? What's stopping me? Well, the other person on your shoulder is well, dude, you're just so overthinking everything. And you don't realize that most people don't know a lot. They don't, most people never read another book after they graduate high school. And most of them hardly read one in high school, not alone afterwards. If you've read 5 books on cucumbers, you're a freaking expert amongst 99% of people you talk to probably. And you could get that done in one day. And the next thing is well, why do you really honestly get worried about when you create a video and put it out there? What really honestly is going to happen? Like,
Yeah.
what can
Yeah,
happen to
because
you? Nothing's going to happen to you.
Nothing.
What is
Yeah.
going to happen?
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah. Like I tried to look on my TikTok to find a video from like 9 months ago, and I've done so many. I'm like, nobody cares. It's gone. It's buried. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think if you lead with just really trying to care about the other person,
Right.
even if they're an asshole, even if they're, just like if you just care about them and you
Yeah.
just ask questions, you will become so valuable and so real.
Mm,
Now, when you go to do something, just really try to figure out first, like, why am I doing this? Like, what is the actual reason for me doing this? Like, if you go to create a YouTube video or a TikTok video or any kind of video, just what am I trying to do? Am I trying to help somebody understand this? Am I trying to help them actually know how to do the thing? Am I trying to show them the difference between two things? Like, what am I really doing? And what's the end
Okay.
goal here? Well, I want them to become a member. And this is the
Yeah.
other thing. People think like a membership is about, like, I get this all the time. What happens after they complete the course? They won't be a member anymore. Then I have to keep getting more members. Well, that's true. You're always going to do that. But memberships are about mastery. They're not about just completing a thing. I've been doing this for 15 years and I feel like I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's about mastery. And if you lean into it like that, it's
Okay.
just, it's a dental practice. Why do they call it a practice?
Yeah, because you're continuing to learn.
These are people that went to school forever and did all this stuff forever, and they're still practicing. Tiger Woods is how old? I seen at the Masters here. I just caught like on a TV in passing. He's like, during the Masters, I didn't go home before I hit 1,000 golf balls every night and I'm like, this is somebody that's already like the GOAT, or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they have to do it, why don't you have to? Or you've never done this before and you try it and it doesn't work. Well, these people have to practice forever, all the time, focused, and they, to be high paid and to be good at it. Why would it be any different for you?
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Would you rather sell your product or somebody else's? Because no matter where you work, if you have a job, you're either helping somebody else sell their product or you're either going to sell your own product. Because in order for you to get paid at your job, no matter what your job is, something's being sold and you're a part of that
100%.
mechanism, an employee stack or whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with the job, but that employee stack, that organism, every cell in that organism, which is the company you work for, all 2 million Amazon employees all work together to get us our product. They're all of us work together in there to get that done, right? That's what all the Amazon. So in any business, it's this way. So you're either selling your product or someone else's. And in my opinion, it's like, I don't think that this is for everybody. I think anybody who has the desire to do it and is willing to care more about other people than they do anything else, and they're willing to just care. I can't get over how much you just have to care.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't care, so I drink. I don't care, so I do a drug. I don't care, so I get fat. I don't care. It's like all those little things that you just, whatever, I don't care. I see. I thought you were like not eating, a bunch of like carbs and stuff. I don't care this time. It's like, just care.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it matters or not, why not just care?
And what's so funny is like the coaching industry is just taking off. Oliver and I both have a lot of friends who are coaches, and so many of them are struggling. Like it's so hard to, get your business off the ground and get people. But really, it's like if you can just care more about them than the way you come off on camera for a while, it won't be that way forever. Then it's there. I mean, that's the whole premise of coaching is getting someone from A to B. So why not like monetize it in a way that's easier with the recurring? I'm about this life.
We're in a mastermind of a ton of coaches, and a lot of them are just perpetually in this phase of like, well, I need this other thing before I even make a sale. Like I need, and it's just adding on all these things. And I'm like, I was stuck with them for a while, and then I was like, oh, because I'm not a salesperson, I was just like, well, I have to just get out there and start just like selling people things, because I know that that's a block for me. But yeah, you have such a knack with that. Like you're so organized, and when I see your presentations, what's the best way if someone like is listening to this now and they really want to connect with you, Mike? What's like your place where you like to connect with people easiest the most?
I mean, they can just go to makeonce.com and it'll just
Okay.
take them over to my school. I just
Yeah.
use my makeonce.com domain because it's simple. It's the easiest way.
Okay.
And it just has
Yeah.
a picture of me and a button underneath it to go to the school community. And I've got a free school. And then I just hang out with
Okay.
people in there. But,
All right.
Yeah.
you know,
And I
my
know I
thing
watch you on
that
TikTok, but
what's that?
I said I know I watch you on TikTok, so you can find
I
him on
mean,
TikTok as well.
the thing that I really want to get across to people is just the fact that if you just show up consistently on a topic and care about helping people figure it out, the only people that are going to pay you are the people that don't know how to do it. If they knew how to do it, they're not going to pay you. So don't worry about that.
Right.
And then
Oh, man.
realize that when you go into business or you try to make money for yourself online, you have to do one thing before two things. And
Yeah.
everything that you do is not about you, it's about them. When you create content, it's not about you, it's about them. When you create a pocket coaching, it's not about you, it's about them. And yet the thing that holds you back from doing it, the thing that scares you from taking the leap, the thing that scares you from creating the video, it's you thinking about what people will think of you. Your
Right.
coworkers will make fun of you because you're trying to do this other thing. Your friends will
Yeah.
make fun of you because you're trying to talk on a video and put it on the internet and you're trying to figure this thing out. And yet here you are. The whole reason that you're doing it is because you want to not only make your own life better, and you know that the only way to do that is to help other people's lives get better. Like Zig Ziglar says it best. It's my favorite quote of all
Yeah.
time. If you help everybody else get what they want, everything that you want will appear, kind of thing. And
Right.
so that's
Right.
such a great system of thought. But everything that you're doing in your business isn't even about you. And yet you keep thinking all about you and you wonder why
Right.
it's not working.
Right.
You
Right.
just
Right.
stop thinking
Wow.
about what people think of you and just think about what can I create that's going to actually help that person? And it doesn't matter about anything else. You can
Yeah.
take the ugliest person in the world and you can, if they're the most caring, value delivering thing, you will have a completely different perspective about it. You will think they were a beautiful soul. Like you will think they are beautiful and you will find ways to figure out why they are beautiful. And
Yeah.
like the thing that makes you beautiful is when you care about the other person. That's what
Yeah.
makes a person actually really attractive. Like they
Yeah.
actually care more about you getting whatever it is that you want versus what they want. And the
Yeah.
neatest thing about the whole deal is if you just stop thinking about yourself, stop thinking about what people think of you, stop worrying about your other friends and peers and outsides and insides and all this thing, and just say like, I'm creating this to do this thing to help this person, because if people that are above you are not going to talk trash on you, right?
No.
So
Right.
if somebody's
No.
talking trash on you, you know where they're at. And then the next
Right.
thing is like, I always say this to people, like if somebody is talking, or you're worried about whatever, I'd say, have this little conversation with yourself. So let me get this straight. My friends, my brother, my sister, my family, my close friends, my coworkers, all these people, they're like making fun of me because I want to have a better life. I want to help other people and I want to change my situation to where I have more quality and safety and security in my life. And that's why they're making fun of me.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden your
That's
brain's like, okay, how can I help my person?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not important.
Right.
It's not important.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
work.
and really the honest truth is if you posted 3 times a day and in those posts you said, okay, so you're either most likely in most cases helping somebody with their health, helping somebody with their relationships, mindset type of thing, or you're helping somebody make money in whatever shape or form that is. Okay.
Right.
If you know that you're helping people make money, then every time you create a post or every time you do something, you have to relate it to that outcome because that's the core outcome that you delivered to help people with.
Right.
Here's
Yeah.
3 things I want to show you that helped me make money. And here's what I did. Even if it's $1,
Yeah.
even if it's $1, you could say, this helped me make $1. And I just want to share it with you because now you're relating it to that. This helped me lose a pound. This helped me
Yeah.
get 1 minute of peace in my mind from anxiety. It doesn't matter what. This helped me and my girlfriend have a better date. Like
Yeah.
whatever it is, just relate it to that. But if you did 3 posts a day consistently for 1 whole year, and it wouldn't even take, like after 30 days, you'd be like, oh my God, this stuff works. But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be very like slow with it here. But if you did that for a whole year and you just focused on one thing and you just
Yeah.
focused on solving one core problem, you're not reinventing anything. Everything has probably been invented and they're already amazing at it.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
every day somebody's like, I wonder how to lose weight. Every day somebody's like, I wonder how to make money on the internet. Every day somebody's being born right now, every day, all the time. And you can help those people. You're just going to take what's already been done and maybe you make it faster. Maybe you make it
Right.
easier. Maybe you make it more fun while they're doing it. It's the same exact thing that anybody else is teaching, just like one basketball coach would teach the same as another one. But I loved our old coach. He was so fun and he like cared about us. And like, he just, I don't know, there was something about it. But our new coach, yeah, they're teaching me the same thing, but they're just, I don't know. So it's not about the thing that you're learning. It's about the delivery of it.
The delivery. Yeah. 100%.
One girl versus another girl. They could be twins. One's mean, the other one's really caring.
Yeah. Totally different experience.
So the value is not, you're not trying to, oh, that's saturated. Okay, good. It means people like it. So are you going to be fun when you teach it?
Yeah.
Are you going to make it faster for them? Can you take a step out?
So basically you're saying that you don't have to be the expert. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you. Like, get out of your own head into your heart and just care about this other, like, just could be just one person that you want to help with your core idea.
Yeah.
Don't change your idea every day. Don't obsess over yourself or learning everything you need to know. You already know it. You already know the things. You're here to deliver the result by sharing what you've learned, like tying it back to you. It has to be personal to you. It's got to be an experience, your thing.
Or somebody else that has an experience about it. They could be the expert. You're just bringing it to them.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you said it perfect.
Yeah.
So I don't hear any excuses in there is basically what I'm hearing.
You're going to be
Like,
the bottleneck in this deal.
Right. If you really want it, then there are none.
If you get 1,000 people to give you $10 a month, figure out what that is a day. It's kind of silly. You will make $10,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That really just adds up so quick. It's crazy to me.
And it doesn't stay
And
there.
that's
It
the
keeps
beauty
going.
of, like, it's crazy. That's the beauty, I think, of school and these new.
Yeah, I mean, it can
like,
happen
what's
with anything. I
available
love
now.
school. School is like my favorite thing ever. But like, you could, I mean, the bigger thing I just want you to know is like, you're worth $10 a month.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you're worth a lot, you know, but I'm just saying like $10 a month times 1,000 is 10,000 a month. That's 6 figures a year. And to make 7 figures, you just do more of what you did. And just, I mean, what would you rather do? Like, you're going to work no matter what. Even if you had, even if you were rich as can be, like I've been in a spot where like we had a lot of systems and we were making a lot and we were young and all this stuff. You get extremely anxious and bored when you're not doing something.
Right.
But
no, you got
beyond that, you're going to be working. Yeah. It might be working to kill off anxiety because you're, you know, you're always going to be working. So wouldn't you rather work on something that you can build up and be really excited about and proud of? I mean, when I die, however it happens, you know, I just imagine this, like if I was on my deathbed and it's like, all right, Mike, you know, my family's right. They're like, you know, you're about gone or whatever, you know, whatever. I just want to know that, like, while I was here, my little bzz on earth.
Nothing.
At least, like at least while I was here, other people, it was easier for them to live and happier for them to live. That's it. Whatever that little minute thing is, like I already like, you know, everything is nothing, nothing's everything. Like I have this like very, you know, whatever. But why not just be, when somebody says like your name or something, or somebody thinks of you, they're like, oh yeah, that guy he was pretty fun and helpful. He was pretty useful.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I
And
can
just
do that.
care.
That's
God,
it.
just care
I
about
I can do
yourself,
that.
care about other
Yeah.
people, care about what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really, I think the biggest difference, I was talking about this on live today, employee to like CEO mindset. The employee is there to take directions. They value security. You want to have the outlines, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But if you want to make your own money, you have to be willing to take the time to like set your intention of what you want and just and go for it. Nobody else is going to do that for you. And if it was really easy, I guess everyone would do it. But it sounds what you're saying is actually is really easy.
Yeah.
It was
It's
just
very,
overcomplicated.
it's super freeing to hear him say, for me not to focus so much on like my image, or because that's
Right.
what ties me up, is that I have this message that I want to convey, and then I get so weird about, just the modality or just the way it looks. And so
Yes.
to hear him say like, well, just don't worry about that. Just like as he was saying that, I realized that like in my lives, like I'm kind of fighting my audience. Like they're like kind of derailing me, and I'm always trying to redirect them when I should be like
Right.
just being like, "Ooh, this is gold. Like,
That's
tell me
great.
more." You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm
Right.
totally changing my outlook. I'm thinking about
Huh.
like, how to answer the questions that they need answered, and then keep bringing them more of that
Interesting.
instead of me trying to like create genius content all the time.
Like what I hear you saying, Mike, is like you pick your problem, like what you want to be known for, but the reason you're not going to sit here and make a whole course is because you like actually want to have them ask you questions and be answering them, so you can do the pocket coaching. So it's not some whole orchestration.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then what the course or whatever it is that you'll end up selling, it'll evolve
Yeah. So
like
you're
as you
providing them with the actual value of what they need.
right,
It's like the
like what
essence
they want now.
of Michael Bungay saying your 7 questions. It's like you can't arrive at them with just like all the answers, because you don't know, because you have to have the
You don't know
conversation. Yeah. Yeah.
that you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
I love that.
if you're going to be,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what you love. It doesn't matter about any of that. If you're just being useful to somebody on a particular thing that they're trying to find the answer to, and you just show up and be yourself and you just share,
Yeah.
as long as when you open your mouth, they can feel that you care in your voice. They can just feel that you
Right.
care. And all you have to do is just say, in that moment, I care about this person. When you look at that camera, like I see you at a peripheral down here, right? And every once in a while I'll look down
Right.
so I can see your body language. But like I'm looking
Right.
into the lens, but because I know what you both look like, I'm looking at your face like I would if I was sitting at a table with you, because I want to care about this right now. Like I want to care about the people that are hearing this or whatever. And so when you do your thing, it doesn't matter anything. Just we have the other person already. We need you, right? So look the way you look, because we have the other person the way they look already. We got that. Now, the next thing though is, whenever you do this, just realize that people actually are always searching for something. They're always looking for something. And if you just show up and try to take every little thing that you can find about what people are trying to find, and you bring it to them consistently.
Yes, consistent.
Just consistently. You could just do every post that you ever did could just be 5 things, 5 ways, 5 this, 5 that. Just here's 5 things to do this. You know how if you did that 3 times a day, every day, and it was 1 minute long, you wouldn't even you couldn't handle all of the traction.
We get tired of it because in our minds it's like, no, it's got to be more complicated. I got to come up with new stuff all the time. But really, like, you have to say it, I don't know, 28 times for it to sink in. Like, really, it's like we're making it way overcomplicated.
And just know that
28
connection
different
is
ways.
currency.
Right.
Like, the moment somebody interacts with you or interacts with your content, how can you get them in the next moment, the next thing? How can you connect with them faster? That's why I like having, going live is so great for brand new people, because it helps you find your voice. It helps you get the jitters and the shakes out.
All same with Oliver and I were saying
And it helps you just kind of find your fit, and kind of find your voice. And if you can learn to speak, speaking is a very powerful. It doesn't mean you have to be high strung. It doesn't mean that you have to be anything other than yourself. Just learn how to speak. And I don't mean like, how do I speak to an audience? Just learn how to get the thing that you're trying to say out of your mouth. And the only way you'll do that is practice. It's so funny to me. People will practice a sport. They'll practice all this stuff, but they won't practice making videos that they never show anybody. They won't practice just turning their phone on and trying to do a five ways to start a fish tank. And they won't just practice a video and watch it back and be like, oh, they won't just practice that. I create so many videos that I never post. I'll just shoot a video, especially if I'm feeling like insecure, or I'm feeling anxious, or I'm feeling like kind of like headache, or just, I'm just not in that like delivery mode. Just like, I'll just press play and I'll look at my phone and I'll just be like looking at it, and I'm like, I don't even know what to say sometimes. And I'll just be like, yeah, 5, so if you, and then I'll be like, all right, if I was to do this, and just the act of kind of like doing that, I'm like, all right, let's put your shoulders back a little bit, and like, now let's care a little more about this here. Okay. Let's kind of just be prepared a little bit. That's why I like topic. Why does it matter? 3 bullet points. And then what do you want me to do afterwards? Like,
there we go. That's good.
That's it.
That's good.
Nothing more, nothing less. If you do that 3 times a day, if you do that 1 time a day, and you just, but make it about a certain thing. I just always refer to Tiger Woods is because like he's golf. Like these people would never be these people if they were trying to be all these other things.
That's the problem.
Yeah, you have to just kind of focus, like just focus. And
focus, and like you said earlier, limitations make you so much more creative. Like, I know that I'm a person who thrives in structure, even though I hated it and I resisted it so much. Like, I know that about myself. So by like the focus, that our focus is so powerful, but these days it's like we're so inundated with all of these things. It's like the easiest thing in the world to go from like A to Z, and you don't even know where your life is anymore. You're like, what did I really accomplish? So like the power of your focus, and like, it's not boring. It's not done. It's not like you're not it's really like you just showing up on the same thing. Like, we make it seem like, it's got to be new and exciting and this and that. And like, actually I think that's one of the biggest issues I've experienced, and I see in other coaches, is like the niche switching your thing every time. And I was working with a coach earlier this week, and he's like, that's the problem. Most people don't even know what problem they solve. They just want to show up and like, help people. They're not really, you know what I mean? So they switch, and by the time you've gained any traction, you've just erased it because you're Tiger Woods switching to ice hockey.
I love the I help X to Y by Z thing. Like, I help people make money on the internet with my Make Once Pro program so that they can have more money and time online. Like, I help X to Y by Z. Like, just, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And then like my mantra is really like, how can I make this more fun? How can I care more than somebody else about it? How can I make it less steps? Like, how can I, almost every single problem that I run into, it's always typically solved by removing something, not adding something.
That's true. That's what they say true creativity is. It's when nothing else can be removed.
Yeah. Like when I would go out and I would like, I'd love to go out and, I'd get like a steak, and then I'd have like an old fashioned, and then like I'd have another old fashioned, and then I'd get home, and then the next day I'm like completely out, like, even though I wasn't like hammered or something, it was like, I woke up the next day and it was just like I had this ludge over me. And then it was like, but you don't want to give up drinking. Like, that's such a nice social thing. And with your girlfriend, she wants some wine, all this stuff. And I started getting like, I'd be like hard on myself, but it's like, I just removed it, and I'm like, okay, maybe a couple times a month or something, no big deal, whatever. But like, it doesn't, you don't have to like go all or nothing, but you just have a time when you have to be, totally there to care. Like, you wouldn't try to like help your kid after you had 2 of those. Like, you know,
No.
And then like, if you're doing like, other chemicals and things like that, it's like, what are you really doing? Like, are you like, just, if you remove things and just care about something, you will be so much happier anyway. Almost all the people that I run into anywhere, I'll talk to them. I'll just be like, it's one of my favorite questions especially when I meet new people. I'll ask them, be like, so what's like your favorite thing to do? Like, what do you get pumped about?
Question.
I always say that. I'm like, so what do you get pumped about? And they're always like,
people have no clue because they're so used to being asked, like, what do you do? And I hate that question.
Yeah, and it's like, if you don't have a schedule, then you don't have freedom, because if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know when you can be doing nothing. And so, like, if you don't have something you're excited about, everything looks like a good option, and all of it looks like a good path, and everything that somebody brings to you could be an option, and that is like pure chaos. And
hell.
Just care about something.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings me to my last question I wanted to ask you. So, like, a lot of, myself, Oliver, we're working full time. You were saying, like, if you could spend 4 hours a day on that, your growth would be crazy. Like, I wanted to ask you about your schedule for
What time do you get up, Mike?
creation.
What time do you wake up in the morning?
What things are non-negotiables for you, or would be non-negotiables if you were working full time, transitioning to wanting to do?
I love this question.
What time do you get up, and what time do you go to sleep?
6 a.m.
Okay.
I just get up at 6 a.m.
Okay, that's what I do now. That's good. I can do that.
Yeah,
okay.
I used to get up a lot earlier, but it was just like my body doesn't like that. So like it just, I can do it, but I just go, I listen to my body a lot. And so I get up at 6 and I try to go sweat.
Yes.
That's it. I don't worry about what I'm doing. I just try to make sure that I'm like, my shirt is sweaty. Like I just want to be sweaty. Yeah. And I know and I usually, it's like in 30 minutes, I can get a good sweat. And then it's like, okay, cool. Yeah. Next thing, I just go jump in the shower. And in the shower, I'm like, just remembering what I wrote down the night before. It's such a good practice, the night before thing. And just know what you're doing before it gets here. And so then after that, if I had a job though, what I would do, and I'll just tell you my like routine here. So like, okay, so 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, I have gotten sweaty and showered. And now from like 7 to 8, I'm like getting vitamins and some caffeine. I try not to eat until like after lunch. Like I try to eat mainly just like meat. It's just easy for me. Protein. I like meat. It's simple. I don't have to think about it. And I just try to do more, like, I don't try to get a lot of carbs, because when I do, my brain just doesn't work as good. And I just feel sluggish. And so I just try to wait. I just try to hold off as long as I can until I eat. And that's really that. But from basically 9 in the morning, I like to try to go live first, because after I go live, I got this energy in me for like, I'm pumped up, like I'm like ready to keep rocking. So I'll try to knock out like 3 1-minute posts. And lately it's just not been that, because I've been all over the place, like moving around and stuff and everything. But we're very getting very like revved up here. So like usually though, it's like get my 3 posts out right away. They're 1 minute long. I don't need to have a special production show. I just need to have my phone on some sort of thing that holds it. And I need to look at the camera, and I need to have a topic, some kind of hook that makes them want to watch it, and 3 points. And then what do I want them to do afterwards? It could be answer a question. It could be go check something out. It could be whatever. Get those things out and then go live. And then after I go live, I lately have been just trying to shoot one like decent like video. I just sit down and practice shooting like one kind of like 10-minute video if I can. And then I will do a pocket coaching episode for my group. And then after that, if I have, sometimes it'll be the day where I have a call. Like I'll do it every Monday and Thursday for my Make Ones Pro people. I do a call for them where they can talk to me, share their screen, whatever. And then after that, I'm pretty much just thinking about how I can make my program better. I'm thinking about answering questions in the community a little bit. I think about what I'm going to do the next day. And I'm just really focused on that at that point. And then I'm, connecting with my family a little bit, like go up, say hi. We both work from home, and like we're in different places. And it's like when I'm in my office, like right now, like the world doesn't exist. Like I'm just in here and I'm doing my thing and I'm focused on it. And then like I have to exit that, and go connect and then find out what's going on. But really, I'll be truthful. If you like, I hate that I say that all the time. I'll be honest, or I'll be truthful. It's like I'm not truthful or honest. I don't know why I say it. It's like a stupid saying, but I'll be forward or straightforward or whatever.
Yeah.
The doing what you have, like having a job and being able to replace it, right? Even if you're like 80 hours a week at something, you can find a pocket of an hour somewhere.
Yes.
It doesn't even have to be all
Right.
at once, but you can
Right.
find a pocket of an hour to where you can do everything that needs to be done for you to replace that job. And it does not take as long as you might think it does. For some, it will take longer than others. But if you create a short form or long form channel, whatever, TikTok or YouTube's or whatever, every single day, try to be very scheduled about it. Like you know your
Yes.
day, you know when you have time.
Yeah.
Every day, just without thinking, say, I have to do these non-negotiable activities every day. These are like brushing the teeth, going to the restroom. These things somehow always happen. So why don't I just make this that imperative? Like it's that important. So you're just like, every day at this time, I am putting up 3 posts, whether I like them or not. And I'm going to stay on a particular topic so that I can have like resonance. I can have, if a tree was trying to be something different every day, it wouldn't be a tree. So you have to be a tree every day, right? What tree are you going to be? Be it every day for now until something changes. But don't worry about scale. Don't worry about nothing. Like, don't worry about what happens when it gets big. Don't worry about none of that. You'll deal with it when it gets here. The thing that you need to focus on is showing up every day on a particular topic with useful posts. I don't care what it is, but typically just lists work the best. And then in the beginning of the video, why should they watch it? That's your little hook. Why should anybody care about what you're about to say? That's it. Talk about 3 little points. They can be quick little points. You don't have to go crazy on them, and show up every day in 3 posts. Have a school so that people can learn more about you. They can come connect with you. And then just start a pocket coaching the moment you set up your school. You do not have to wait. What is there to wait for? You're going to produce a video form every day, like a magazine subscription. You don't get all the last magazines. You just get the next magazine that's coming. It's just that.
Right.
And every day, do it. Don't tell me why you can't do it. Don't have excuses. You lose all your power. You do. Just stop with it. You don't need to. I don't need to hear them. You don't need them. Just, did you do it or not?
Right.
And so
if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep.
You can hold your phone and say, "Hi, I'm in this video. I want to show you what I did to make sure my cucumbers were watered every morning. I got 3 things that I do. I just want to share them with you real quick. And if you want to learn more about cucumbers, I have a school. It's free. You can check it out. Links in my bio. But I talk about cucumber and farming cucumbers all the time. So go check that out. Like, that's it at the end, right? Or if you want more, if you want even more help, I got links in my stuff. Check them out. Like, people know where to go. But every day, 3 posts, and you got your story. Remember, why do you want to be known for this? What do you want to be known for? Why do you want to be known for this? And what happened? That's it. And if you share that every once in a while, people know why you exist, why you're doing your thing. They know what happened, and they can get on board with you, and they know what you're about. You could replace any job out there, any job. And I have people that have like some weird incomes. I didn't even know jobs could pay like this, like 50 grand a month and shit. And if you just focus on just cucumbers, you could just focus on cucumbers and replace that job. You could have a course, you could have a membership, about cucumbers that is $49 a month, and you could get 1,000 members. And if you had a job, you can just literally, you cannot go to sleep unless your 3 posts are done.
Okay.
Period. And then have your pocket coaching. If I was you, I would just charge $29 a month. You know why? Because you can say, for less than $1 a day, I will send you 1 video every single day that'll make you better at cucumbers. And then you let them in your free community so that they can get to know you, so they can get to know the other people that are interested in cucumbers. And then whenever they want more help, they can just click on the link inside of your school. You can put it wherever you want. There's always there's places to put it under the profile and the banner and in any post. And that link is your payment link from Stripe for $29 a month. And if they want to cancel, you can cancel at any time. Just tell me and I'll shut it off. I will go into your name and stop. And that's all you do inside of Stripe. And then you let them into your pocket coaching community or your classroom inside of school that says pocket coaching.
Yeah.
And you give them a video every day, like you said.
Oh
Right.
wow. Yeah, so if you're looking for a way to get started, like Mike just gave us the whole package. Like if you just save this
Yeah.
video, I literally you just save this video and you can go back and make notes, and from start to finish, he's given you the entire process right there. And all of the excuses, all the feelings that you might have if you listen to this video, like as I'm listening to him talking, he was
Yeah.
shooting down all of my all of
Right.
those sticking points that I had. And by the end of the video, like I'm itching to take action. Like because
Yeah.
all I just had to do was just sit here and listen to his organization through the process, and I'm
Yeah.
ready to go. So I am excited to listen to this video again, and I think you
Yeah.
should bookmark it. This is real value. This is like incredibly real value. And I want to thank you, Mike. This is amazing. It's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I've had
Yeah.
a lot of fun on this. I appreciate it. I know I talked a lot and
Yeah.
stuff, but I'm just
No,
excited
that's what we
to
wanted.
help
That's
people.
what we
No,
wanted.
you're
Yeah.
like taking
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah. I told
man.
Manny,
You got it all here.
yeah, I was like, just let him talk, Manny. I want to hear everything, before we started. So it was amazing. Amazing. Just great.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, I
You must-
appreciate
Alright,
you guys
guys.
so much. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
feels
thank you.
really like authentic and real, and you guys are fun. And I just, this feels like a really good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. This is something that I
think
really needed, like personally. Like this is energizing, and you must be an amazing coach. Like to have you one-on-one doing this, it's just so much
Yeah, I
value.
know.
So much value. This is
I
so
know.
cool. Thank you. Thank
I
you so much.
appreciate it. I just have
Yeah.
fun and
Yeah.
care. Like I'm telling you, that's
Oh, and you guys, he's doing his Make Once Pro. If you get you'll get lifetime access now, and you get an hour one-on-one with this dude if you sign up by May 1st.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah.
just putting that out there for everybody.
Yes.
I heard that this morning. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You texted me. I was like, okay, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got a couple
Yeah.
more days. Got to
I
get
know.
on that.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
I
much, Mike.
appreciate it. Thank you guys
So
so much.
awesome. Thank you.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.